The Wallenberg family are a prominent and most powerful Swedish business family and dynasty. Throughout its 150-year management history, they are maintaining their family business system for 5 generations.
Did you know there is a family in Europe that surpasses even the wealthiest and most powerful billionaires like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos? They are so powerful that they practically control Europe's business world behind the scenes and operate in 180 countries around the world. Surprisingly, this influential family has managed to keep a low profile, and you might wonder why you have never heard of them. Well, that's precisely the mystery we are about to crack. Join us in this video as we tell you the awe-inspiring story of Europe's most powerful and rich family, the Wallenberg family. Our story begins in a time of trouble back in 1837. Europe was in the middle of a big financial crisis. The real estate market had collapsed. The unemployment rate was high. There was almost no money left, and inflation was at its peak. For bankers, this period was their worst nightmare come to life, as trust in the banking system rapidly declined. It was during these troubled times that an unlikely player emerged on the economic scene, a young Swedish Navy officer. While serving as a lieutenant, this officer became acutely aware of the economic hardships around him. He noticed the bank's passive role during this crisis. He noticed that they were merely safeguarding deposits and refraining from granting loans to businesses in need. It was a big lacking point in the business model of Swedish banks. This Navy officer was none other than André Oskar Wallenberg. Born into a naval family, André left his position in the Navy to change the Swedish financial landscape. He saw an opportunity where others saw despair: banks. He believed banks were the backbone of a country's economy, and they were failing in their role. In 1856, driven by this revolutionary idea, Wallenberg founded Stockholm's Enskilda Bank, or SEB. His innovative approach was a stark contrast to other banks. SEB was not just a safe haven for deposits, it was a facilitator for growth. Let us rephrase. SEB was not only acting as a safe deposit box, but also an entity that invited people and businesses to invest their savings and offered loans to struggling industries. This was unprecedented at that time. People flocked to the bank to deposit their lifelong savings in the hope of earning a profit in that era of bad economy. On the other hand, the Industrial Revolution was at its peak, so the industrialists needed money for startups. So they also flocked to SEB to get hefty loans. In short, every other person in Sweden was ready to do business with SEB. Gradually, SEB took over the reins of Sweden's economy. This marked the beginning of the Wallenberg family's rise to power. As the Wallenberg family's influence grew through Stockholm's Enskilda Bank, they began to strategically invest in and acquire other Swedish companies. They held majority stocks in an astonishing range of sectors, from railways to factories, from the press to real estate. This diversification fortified their economic stronghold not just within Sweden, but also extended their influence across Europe and gradually the world. But in 1916, the Swedish government became worried. They thought the Wallenbergs had too much control over the economy, so they made a new law. This law said banks cannot own long-term shares in other companies. This could have stopped the Wallenbergs from buying more companies, but the Wallenbergs didn't let this law stop them. They came up with a clever plan. They created a new company, Investor AB. This new company took over the ownership of the shares from SEB. This meant the Wallenbergs cannot keep owning parts of lots of other companies. But they were not breaking the new law. Investor AB became a really important company in Sweden. It was so big and owned parts of so many businesses that about 40% of people in Sweden ended up working for a company that was part of Investor AB. This clever move by the Wallenbergs shows how smart and determined they were. Even when the government tried to limit their power, they found a way around it. But their clever planning and strategic business dealings do not end here. As World War II erupted, the world was divided into 2 factions: the Allies, which included Britain and America, and the Axis powers, led by Germany. It was a time of global tension and uncertainty, but the Wallenbergs viewed it as an opportunity for strategic business growth. They began to analyze which side would be more profitable to support, considering the potential financial gains rather than political allegiances. By 1940, the Wallenbergs decided to lend money to Britain and America, seeing them as strong allies with robust economies. They saw it as an opportunity to strengthen their relationships with these countries while also profiting from the loans. But their plans didn't stop there. They expanded their operations into Germany, buying ammunition companies. This ensured a steady supply of weapons regardless of the war's outcome. This move also led to a unique agreement. Germany allowed SEB to open 670 branches across the country free of cost, effectively broadening the Wallenbergs' business reach. Then came the post-war period, a time of massive rebuilding and development. The Wallenbergs, with their far-reaching influence and financial power, made sure most of this funding went through SEB. They also struck profitable deals with America and Britain, further consolidating their wealth. World War II was a high-stakes game involving billions of dollars, and the Wallenbergs played both sides. But this was not the only time the Wallenbergs played diplomatically. In 2014, when Ukraine was under attack from Russia, most of the world's companies sanctioned Russia. However, the Wallenbergs, through their companies Atlas Corp and SKF, continued to supply nuclear equipment to Russia. The only thing they wanted was to make the most profit from the situation, and they certainly did. In the world of business, especially when you're as big as the Wallenberg family, controversies are inevitable. One of the major incidents that drew widespread attention was the Telia incident in 2018. Telia is a leading telecommunications company in the Wallenberg portfolio. It planned to expand its TV assets in Sweden and Finland. The deal seemed promising initially, but it ran into unexpected trouble. The European Union's competition authorities raised objections, claiming the acquisition would give Telia undue dominance in the market, hindering fair competition. Ultimately, the deal fell through. The failed Telia deal had significant repercussions. It put a spotlight on the Wallenbergs' expansive empire, with critics suggesting the incident was an evident display of their overpowering influence. They argued that the Wallenbergs had too much control over too many sectors, which could negatively impact competition and market balance. The controversy sparked a wave of discussions around the need for more stringent regulations to prevent such dominating influences in the market. The Wallenbergs, known for their low-profile operations, found themselves in the unaccustomed glare of the public eye. Although the Telia incident was a bump in the road for the Wallenbergs, it did not significantly dent their power or wealth. It did, however, serve as a reminder of the complex web of influence and power they had woven. This elicited calls for increased scrutiny and regulation of such far-reaching family empires. Managing wealth over generations is no small task. Many rich families like the Vanderbilts, who were once among the wealthiest in the world, have faded into obscurity due to the third-generation curse. This refers to the trend where family wealth tends to disappear by the third generation. But the Wallenbergs have proved to be an exception. They have not only kept their wealth, but also grown it over generations. How did they achieve this remarkable feat? The Wallenbergs don't hand over control to just one member of the family. Instead, they have a foundation in which all family members participate. This collective control ensures the responsibility and power are shared, preventing any single person from making poor decisions that could harm the family's wealth. The family also has a unique way of training the next generation to handle their businesses. They believe that learning the ropes is essential before gaining control, so any Wallenberg who will join the family business must first work as a regular employee for about 8 to 10 years. This period allows them to understand all aspects of the business from the ground up. Only after proving their worth can they move into management roles. This strategy ensures that the people leading their companies have the necessary experience and understanding to make wise decisions. Today, the Wallenberg family continues to hold a dominant position in the European economy. Their diverse portfolio spans a wide range of sectors, from technology and manufacturing to finance and real estate. The Wallenbergs, known for their shrewd business strategies, have managed to grow their wealth significantly over the years. As of now, the family is estimated to be worth an incredible $278 billion, making them one of the wealthiest families in Europe, if not the world. Their reach is not just limited to Sweden or even Europe. Their businesses operate in 180 countries worldwide, making their influence truly global. It is safe to say that the Wallenbergs have transformed from a powerful European dynasty to a global business empire. Now that you know about this super secretive and super powerful and rich family of Europe, are you concerned about the extent of their influence? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.